Welcome to the deep dive. We love unearthing these little golden nuggets from a whole mountain of information.
And today we're going deep on Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, a book all about building a successful expert business.
Now, I know what some people might think when they hear that. Expert business. I'm not trying to launch some massive online empire.
Right.
But whether you're like a freelancer, an entrepreneur, or just curious about the psychology of persuasion and influence,
Yeah,
this book has some really, really valuable insights.
it does. And Brunson actually used the principles in the book to build ClickFunnels, a very successful software company. So he's not just talking the talk.
Exactly. That's what I like about this deep dive. We're going beyond the surface. We're figuring out how to be those charismatic leaders, create those irresistible offers, and tell those captivating stories that make people want to follow you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll even be breaking down his perfect webinar framework.
Ooh, I love a good secret weapon.
It's kind of a secret weapon that helps convert audiences into loyal followers.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump right into section 1, becoming a charismatic leader. Now, when I hear charisma, I think of some smooth-talking, extrovert.
Yeah.
But Brunson has kind of a different take on it, right?
He does. He says it's not about being the life of the party. It's about becoming an attractive character.
Okay.
It's about becoming someone who embodies the results your audience desires.
Okay, so walk me through this. What makes someone an attractive character?
Well, he talks about living the life they wish they could live. It's about walking the walk and being living proof of the transformation that you offer. Think about it. Who are you more drawn to? Someone who just talks about success,
Right.
or someone who embodies it?
Definitely the person who embodies it. Yeah.
Exactly. It's about aligning your actions with your message. But there's more to it than just that. There are other traits that make up this attractive character. Things like confidence, authenticity, passion, a genuine desire to help others.
Like that combination just makes you irresistible. People want to follow you. They want to learn from you.
Exactly. And Brunson emphasizes the importance of projecting certainty in your message, and he recommends sharing your message frequently, even daily if you can, to refine it and gain confidence.
So I guess it's not practice makes perfect. It's practice makes persuasive.
That's a great way to put it. The more you own your message, the more the audience will believe in it, and you pro pray.
That makes a lot of sense. But there's a fine line between, confident and annoying.
Right.
Right? We don't want to bore people to death with the same message
Yeah.
over and over again. Doesn't Brunson address this?
He does. He introduces this concept called the prolific index, and it's a spectrum that goes from mainstream to crazy.
Hold on. Break that down for me. What does he mean by mainstream and crazy?
So think of it this way. If you're only ever talking about the most basic, accepted ideas in your field, that's the mainstream. Safe, maybe even a little boring.
Okay, got it. What's the crazy end then?
Well, that's where you're making outlandish claims that are so far out there, they lack credibility. Brunson says that the sweet spot for attracting a loyal following lies just outside the mainstream.
Ah, so it's about finding that balance between unique and credible.
Exactly.
Me an example. And something outside the fitness world would be great.
Okay. Imagine you're a financial advisor. If you only talk about safe index funds, that's pretty mainstream. On the other hand, someone who guarantees you'll get rich by investing in their secret system is venturing into crazy.
Makes sense. So where is that sweet spot?
Well, an advisor who teaches you how to invest in emerging markets while managing risk. Intriguing. Potentially credible. Definitely not boring.
I like it. You've got to stand out and give people something new to think about.
Mm.
So we've got this charismatic leader thing down, but I think a lot of people, myself included, struggle with actually asking people to pay for advice.
I hear you. We're often conditioned to think that giving away free advice is how to build an audience, but Brunson flips that script in a really thought-provoking way.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
He argues that when people pay for your advice, it actually increases their chances of success. They're more invested, literally and figuratively, so they're more likely to show up, do the work, and get results.
Interesting. So it's about valuing the information and taking ownership.
Exactly. Think about it. If you go to a free webinar, you might be multitasking, checking your phone, not fully engaged. But if you've invested a significant amount in a program, you're going to be there taking notes and really absorbing it.
You're holding yourself accountable because you have skin in the game.
That's a powerful point. So free content can actually be a disservice to your audience.
In a way, yes. It can create a sense of entitlement where people expect everything to be handed to them. But when people pay, they value the information more and are more likely to take action.
Hmm. I'm starting to see the wisdom in that. It's like we appreciate the things more when we've earned them.
Exactly. And that appreciation translates into commitment and ultimately better results for your audience. I love it. This has been eye-opening.
Yeah.
So we've laid the foundation for becoming charismatic leaders, but how do we take that magnetism and turn it into a tangible offer that people can't refuse?
That's where we move on to section 2, crafting your irresistible offer. And this is where things get really strategic because Brunson introduces the concept of focusing on new opportunities rather than improvement offers.
Ooh, I'm all ears. Let's unpack that in the next part of our deep dive.
Absolutely. We're going to explore why that subtle shift in perspective can be a total game changer for building your successful expert business.
Welcome back to the deep dive, where we're uncovering those expert secrets for building a thriving business.
And in this section, we're going to explore a concept that Brunson really emphasizes, the power of offering new opportunities instead of just focusing on improvement offers.
You know, I've been thinking about this since our last conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, why is this shift so important? What's the psychology behind it?
Well, Brunson argues that people are just inherently drawn to novelty. We crave new experiences, new ideas, new solutions.
Yeah, it's like we're always looking for that next shiny object.
Right, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's part of what drives us to learn, grow, and evolve. But here's the thing. Improvement offers often force people to confront their past failures.
Oh, okay.
So if you're offering a better way to lose weight, you're kind of implying that the person has failed at weight loss before.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, and that can trigger feelings of shame, inadequacy, or even resistance.
Yeah.
No one wants to admit they've been doing it wrong all along.
No one likes to admit they're wrong.
So new opportunities offer a fresh start, a chance to embrace something different without feeling like a failure.
Okay, I like that. It feels less judgmental.
And Brunson outlines 2 main types of new opportunities.
Okay.
The opportunity switch and the opportunity stack.
Okay, give me the breakdown.
All right. An opportunity switch is all about moving people from their current solution to your new and improved alternative.
Yeah.
Imagine someone is stuck in that rut of yo-yo dieting. An opportunity switch could be introducing them to intermittent fasting.
Okay, so instead of offering like a slightly better diet, it's a whole different approach.
Right. And it doesn't require them to admit that their past dieting attempts were wrong.
Yeah.
It's simply a new path to achieving their goals.
I like it. So much more empowering.
Right. And once someone has embraced your new opportunity, that's where the opportunity stack comes in.
Okay, intrigue me. What's an opportunity stack?
Okay, so it's basically a way to offer additional products or services that enhance their experience within that new framework.
Okay.
So let's stick with the intermittent fasting. Once someone is comfortable with the basics, you might offer like a recipe book specifically designed for intermittent fasting or a coaching program to help them optimize their results.
Okay, so you're building on that foundation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the key is that the opportunity stack doesn't make them feel like they made the wrong initial choice.
Right.
It enhances their journey and helps them get even better results.
I love it. This is making so much sense.
Yeah.
I can see how this would be way more appealing than just trying to like improve on an existing solution.
Right.
Can we pause for a second and talk about sales funnels? I think some of our listeners might not be familiar with that.
Absolutely. A sales funnel is basically a system for guiding potential customers toward making a purchase.
Okay.
It's a series of steps that lead them from initial awareness of your offer to ultimately becoming a paying customer.
So it's not just about throwing your offer out there and hoping people buy.
Exactly. And Brunson argues that crafting effective sales funnels is essential for any successful expert business.
Got it. So we've got these opportunity stacks to enhance the journey.
Yeah.
But how do we even figure out what that initial new opportunity should be?
Yeah.
How do we find our sweet spot?
That's a great question, and Brunson provides a really helpful framework for this. He suggests starting with broad core markets, like things like health, wealth, and relationships.
Okay.
These are areas where people are always looking for solutions.
Like tapping into those fundamental human desires, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you drill down to submarkets within those categories.
Yeah.
So within the health market, you might have submarkets like diet and nutrition, fitness, mental health.
So getting more specific.
Right. And then you go one level deeper to identify your niche within that submarket.
Okay.
So instead of just being a fitness expert, you might be the go-to person for helping busy moms get back in shape after pregnancy.
Specificity is key. You've got to stand out.
Absolutely. And to make sure your offer really resonates, Brunson recommends using something called Ask campaigns.
Now, I haven't heard this one before. What are ask campaigns?
They're basically simple one-question surveys designed to uncover your audience's deepest desires within your niche.
So instead of assuming you know what people want, you go straight to the source and ask them.
Right. You might ask something like, what's your biggest frustration when it comes to losing weight after pregnancy?
Well,
Or what's the one thing you wish you knew about investing? And by asking specific questions and analyzing the responses, you can tailor your offer to meet their needs in a way that feels really personal.
I love that. It takes the guesswork out of it.
Right. It ensures that you're creating something that people actually want and are willing to pay for.
Yeah. So it sounds like this is all about really understanding your audience on a deep level.
It is.
But what if you're starting from scratch and don't have an existing audience to survey?
That's a common challenge, and Brunson has some strategies for that too.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of building your email list. Essentially, a group of people who have opted in to receive your emails.
Okay.
You can grow your email list by offering valuable free content, like a mini course or a downloadable guide, in exchange for their email address.
So it's like a trade-off.
Exactly.
They get something and you get to nurture a relationship.
Right, and once you have that relationship with them, you can start those ask campaigns and get a better understanding of their needs and desires.
This is brilliant. So we've gone from these broad core markets to specific niches and learned how to use these ask campaigns to tailor our offers.
Yeah.
But have you seen any real-world examples of this new opportunity approach being successful?
Oh, absolutely. One that comes to mind is an entrepreneur who built a multi-million-dollar business around a new opportunity in the weight loss space.
Oh, wow.
Instead of focusing on restrictive diets or intense workout programs, they created a system that helped people lose weight by drinking ketones.
Oh, interesting.
So it was a new approach, not just an improvement on existing methods.
Right.
And it didn't require people to admit that they had failed at dieting in the past.
I see.
It was a fresh start, a new opportunity to achieve their goals. And they used sales funnels and email marketing to reach their target audience and build a thriving business.
Wow, that's so inspiring. It shows the power of really thinking outside the box and offering something truly unique.
It does.
So we've got our charismatic leader persona down.
Yes.
We figured out our new opportunity offer, and we're starting to build an audience.
Yeah.
But how do we take all this and turn it into a movement? How do we get people to really believe in our message and take action?
That's where the magic of storytelling comes in. As Section 3 of Expert Secrets, Brunson reveals how to use storytelling to build belief and drive action. And this is where things get really exciting.
All right, listeners, if you thought things were getting interesting before, buckle up. We're about to dive into the world of storytelling. I can't wait to see what Brunson has in store for us. Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Where we're unlocking the secrets to building a successful expert business.
And, we talked about becoming charismatic leaders,
Yeah.
crafting those irresistible offers.
Right.
But now it's time to explore the power of storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in Section 3, Brunson dives deep into how to use stories to not just entertain your audience, but to actually, shift their beliefs and inspire them to take action. I'm so ready for this. Brunson talks about the big domino belief. What's that all about?
Well, it's about identifying that one core belief that if someone buys into it, makes everything else fall into place.
Okay, so it's like that keystone that holds your entire message together.
Exactly. If you can convince someone of this one fundamental truth, they're more likely to accept everything else you say.
Okay, so how do you figure out what your big domino belief is?
Well, Brunson suggests asking yourself, what is the one thing my audience needs to believe in order to fully embrace my message? For example, his big domino belief for ClickFunnels is that sales funnels are the key to online business success.
Okay,
ClickFunnels is the best way to build them.
so if you can convince someone of that, they're ready to invest in ClickFunnels and all that comes with it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, how do you actually convey that big domino belief? That's where Brunson's Epiphany Bridge storytelling framework comes in.
Okay, I love a good bridge analogy. Walk me across this Epiphany Bridge. How does it work?
The Epiphany Bridge is all about structuring your stories in a way that strategically guides your listener towards a shift in belief.
So,
It involves two journeys happening simultaneously.
two journey.
You have the journey of achievement, which is the external, visible story, the classic hero's journey we see in movies and books.
Okay.
So the character facing challenges, overcoming obstacles, ultimately achieving their goal.
Right, right.
But woven into that external journey is the journey of transformation, which is the internal emotional story.
It's where the character's beliefs are challenged, they experience setbacks, and they have that aha moment that leads to a profound shift.
Exactly. And as the listener is following along on this journey with the character,
Yeah.
they start to recognize their own limiting beliefs and see a new path forward.
So it's like the story becomes a mirror, reflecting back their own struggles and offering a solution.
Exactly. And Brunson emphasizes that the most effective stories are those that create an emotional connection with the listener. It's not just about logic and facts. It's about tapping into those deeper human emotions.
Oh, I can see how that would be way more persuasive
Yeah,
than just, like, presenting a bunch of data.
for sure.
You know, I used to believe that in order to be successful, I had to work, like, 80 hours a week
Oh, wow.
and sacrifice my personal life. It was exhausting.
Yeah, I think a lot of us struggle with that belief, especially today.
Right. But then I heard this story about an entrepreneur who built a successful business working only 4 hours a day
Wow,
and prioritizing their well-being.
that's awesome.
He completely shattered my limiting belief.
That's a perfect example of the epiphany branch in action.
It really was.
The entrepreneur's journey, both external and internal, became a catalyst for you to shift your own beliefs.
It's amazing how powerful stories are.
Yes,
And that's what makes this framework so powerful,
it is.
because it allows you to bypass those logical defenses and connect with people on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
So Brunson takes this storytelling magic and he applies it to his perfect webinar framework, right?
He does, and this is where things get really tactical.
Yeah.
The perfect webinar is a blueprint for creating a presentation that converts viewers into loyal followers and customers.
Okay, spill the tea. What makes it so perfect?
First of all, Brunson advocates for repeating the same webinar every week.
Wait, what? The same one? Isn't that like a little repetitive?
It might seem counterintuitive, but Brunson compares it to a Broadway show. You wouldn't create a brand new show every night, would you?
Right.
You refine it, perfect it, and perform it over and over again to maximize its impact.
That's a really good point. It's about leveraging your best work and making it work for you.
Exactly. And by repeating the same webinar, you can constantly analyze the data, see what's working, and optimize it for maximum conversion.
It becomes like this well-oiled machine, a predictable system for generating leads and sales.
Precisely. And Brunson provides a detailed script for the perfect webinar, outlining how to structure it to break down limiting beliefs, tell compelling stories, and present your offer.
So it's like a paint-by-numbers approach to creating a presentation.
In a way, yes. But it's not just about following a script. It's about understanding the principles behind it and adapting them to your own unique style and offer.
So we've got the script. What about actually getting people to attend?
Well, Brunson doesn't leave you hanging. He offers a range of strategies for driving traffic to your webinars.
Okay.
Some are free, some are paid. He talks about building an email list, leveraging social media, running ads, and even partnering with other experts.
So it's like this holistic approach to creating the webinar and making sure people see it.
Exactly. The perfect webinar is like a complete ecosystem for building your expert business.
This has been mind-blowing. We've covered so much, from becoming charismatic leaders to crafting those irresistible offers to wielding the power of storytelling.
It's been a great deep dive, and we even delved into the tactical side with the perfect webinar framework.
It's like we've unlocked the secrets to building a thriving business based on, expertise and influence.
And it's fascinating that while Brunson focuses on digital strategies like webinars and sales funnels, these principles apply to so many formats.
I'm already thinking about how I can use the Epiphany Bridge in my blog posts or even just in conversations.
I know, me too.
That's the beauty of it. These principles are universal.
Yeah.
It's all about understanding people and using that knowledge to connect on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
This has been an incredible deep dive. So what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is the importance of understanding human psychology. Building a successful expert business isn't just about having knowledge. It's about connecting with people emotionally, building belief, and leading them on a journey.
Yeah, it's about becoming that attractive character who embodies the results people want.
Yes.
crafting an offer that taps into their needs and telling those stories that resonate.
Exactly. And while Expert Secrets has all these actionable strategies, the most valuable takeaway is the mindset shift it inspires.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a shift from focusing on ourselves to focusing on our audience, from selling to serving.
It's about building genuine connections, fostering trust, and ultimately making a positive impact on the world.
And that's something we can all aspire to, no matter what our field or passion is.
So we've uncovered a lot of expert secrets today, but the real journey begins when you take these principles and apply them to your own situation.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you, our listeners. What resonated with you most? How can you see yourself using these insights to build your own business or become a more influential person? So keep diving deep, keep experimenting, and keep those expert secrets coming.
Until next time.
Happy exploring.